It's Freestyle Friday!
Coming in hot with quick shots of inspiration on a variety of topics.
Have you grabbed our bundle of the brand new 90 Day Habits Journal and the 90 Day Habits Planner? This is a great gift to a teammate. This is a great gift for yourself. Help you get clarity, get organized, track your daily IPAs, track your activity. Go check out our website at 90dayhabits.co to get this bundle today.
This episode was actually inspired. I heard, I don't remember who was talking about it, but it just sparked a gut feeling and intuition in me like, oh man, I would love to expand upon that with Sandy. And it was the concept. And I wish I remembered who said it. And I think they said it in the context of God. You guys know here, we don't discriminate. Whatever your God is, God, the universe, universal energy, people, whatever your higher power is, like just substitute that in here. But everyone, let's use God. Ask God for what they want. They pray to God or they pray to that higher power. Like, I want this in my life. I want that in my life. I'm praying for it. Please bring it to me. And the concept was, what if you flip the script? This person, I don't remember, but they were like, God, what do you want? Or higher power, what do you want? And I couldn't listen to the full episode, but it hit me. Like what I realized was, you know what that higher power wants? You know what they want from you? For you to lean in and utilize the gifts that they blessed you with. You were blessed with unique gifts and talents that you were bestowed with. It is your almost duty to express in the world. And that is what they want. So it then becomes our duty to, one, find that, and then two, express it.
I love that. So think through, maybe you were born with a gift that you're suppressing or that people don't really know that you have, right? Like maybe you're a gifted speaker, or maybe you're super, super patient and you're great at teaching people things, or you're great at crafts or doing things with your hands, or you're an incredible leader, or maybe your gift is art or singing or dancing or somehow creatively expressing yourself. Who knows what it is, but you know what it is. And maybe no one knows. Maybe it's literally something you're like clamping onto and holding onto because it's like your safe little secret. And it's like, that's not serving the world. You clinging tight to that and not expressing it is not serving anyone, right? So it's identifying like, gosh, what are some of my gifts? And how do I lean into them more? And how do I give this to others? Because God or your higher self, or as Wade said, whatever you like to refer to as your higher power, wants you to lean into that. That's what God wants. Mm-hmm. That's what your higher self wants. So identify what that is. And
I think that's a key there now that I'm thinking like, how do we as humans identify that? And what I think too, and Sandy, I'd love to hear if you have any thoughts there, but what I think about that is like, what feels good to you? What do you love to do? What do you love to do that adds value to other people? Sandy mentioned a few of them. Do you love teaching? Do you love speaking? Do you love leading? Do you love creating? Do you love art, singing, dancing? What are things you love to do where if you could build a career or a passion or a calling around it, it wouldn't feel like labor or work to you. It would overall feel like I'm walking in my purpose and I will find a way to make a living, to make a life doing this because I know I'm willing to put my sweat equity into this. I'm willing to work at this because I love it, because I love doing it. And what I've realized about Sandy is I feel like her calling is leadership, is bringing community together, is empowering people. And that wasn't fully expressed until she went after her dreams. She started a business. She started the network marketing business we work on together. And it was just this vehicle, this catalyst to work on and express those qualities. And I truly, just having a front row seat to it the last 3 years, specifically within this business, I realize those are your gifts. Like you were gifted to lead, to empower, to build community. And that's what I think you do best. And you are now expressing that and living in that. So, and I remember early on when she started her business, she was like, I love this so much, I would do it for free. And she says it's still today, 3 years later. And that's kind of a sign, right? That's how you know, like, I'm on the right track for my calling, my purpose, my gifts, and I'm leaning into it.
It's interesting hearing you say that. Thank you for that, babe. I love building community. It makes me think, like, I think sometimes our biggest pain points or our biggest pet peeves or our biggest, I don't know, something that just doesn't sit right with you. Like, you're like, nothing changes if nothing changes. Like, this is only going to change if I do something about it. Ever since I was a little girl, I don't like the word hate, but I have really despised people feeling excluded. Like, I do not have tolerance for people being excluded. I don't have tolerance for people feeling left out, people being bullied. I've been bullied before. Like, I have vivid memories of elementary school of definitely feeling like the outsider. And a lot of that was just being like the foreigner's kid and just being like, oh, I'm not aware of these certain sayings or these certain cartoons they're allowed to watch or these certain things. And it molded me in a way where I was like, God, I'm not like them. Like, I'm definitely left out. But I think because that was such a deep insecurity and such a deep hurt, I always have looked for like the loner or the outcast or the person that's like playing by themselves, or do you know what I mean? Like, I want to invite them in and be like, you're part of this. Like, you and we're buds, you know?
I think there's purpose behind pain too.
Yeah.
I think that's what I just took from that is a pain point for you became purposeful and something you love doing. So sometimes it's not just wrapped in this perfect bow gift. Sometimes it is wrapped in pain because you realize if you go through something and you've got through it, you can teach and help others who are feeling and experiencing the same thing. And it can bring out this sense of purpose in you.
Yeah. I think, yeah, it's so interesting. I think I love building community and building people up so much because it feels so good to be part of something, right? It feels so good to be included. It feels so good to feel like your voice matters. I don't know why I feel compelled to share this, but I have this vivid memory. I was in 3rd grade. I was in Miss Hull's class. And we had an ice cream party. I think I've told you this story once before. Oh my God. It might make me cry.
So sweet.
And we had an ice cream party. Our class like won something. And they brought in the big gallon jugs of ice cream and each parent had to bring toppings.
This was before your lactose allergy?
Yes.
Okay.
And, as my mom would say, all the American families, my mom was born and raised in Switzerland. So, and we basically learned English together. So, and Swiss German was like what she spoke with me at home most of the time. So she would say, oh, so all these American families brought the toppings that were like American toppings, like M&M's, Reese's Pieces, sprinkles, like stuff that
Oreos.
My mom's like, this isn't food. This isn't toppings.
Yeah.
And my mom marches in.
She's like, what is this junk?
Yes.
This fake food.
So my mom marches in with crushed walnuts. And to me, that was normal. Like in my lunch every day, she packed like radishes and broccoli, and everyone's eating like Gushers and Lunchables. And I'm like, what's that?
You're like, want to trade? They're like, heck no.
Yeah, no. But anyway, I remember my mom bringing the walnuts. And to me, that was a very normal thing. And I was like, yeah, my mom's rad. Like, whatever, we're getting ice cream. Like, that's friggin' rad. I don't care what's on it. And I remember this girl that was in the class, her name was Stephanie. Her dad, I'll never forget this. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, looked at my mom and was like, why would you bring walnuts? Like, kids don't want that. That's a really like stupid thing to bring to an ice cream party. And I'll never forget the look on my mom's face. Like, it was like, oh my God, like, you're right. Or I did something wrong, or it was like the shame look. And like, I like stood up, like I like stepped forward and I was like, because walnuts are my favorite. Like, I was
I have chills. Little Sandy sticking up for her mom.
Oh my God, it makes me emotional. But it's just thinking through, like, knowing that people, and maybe that guy's intention wasn't like, to put my mom down or hurt her feelings or whatever. But it's like, here I am, like 25 years later, and that's something that still sticks out to me. And it makes me think, like, what God-given gifts or what strengths or what things fire you up that you can start showing up in a bigger way that can ultimately like become part of your calling. Like I have so many examples of things like that are why I show up as big as I do today. I want to make everyone feel like they matter, no matter what their background is, no matter what their race is, no matter what their socioeconomical, I'm probably saying this wrong. Like I want everyone to feel like a somebody always. I want everyone I interact with to walk away feeling better than they did when they came to me. And anyway, I didn't mean for this all to become about me.
That's your superpower.
But I want, as you're listening, I want you to think through like, what is something that may not seem like a gift, right? Like mine isn't like, I'm not an artist. Like I don't have those types of gifts. So, what is yours and how can you start leaning into it more and own it and be known for that? Where when people think of you like, oh, Leslie or oh, Amanda or oh, Kelly or John. Oh yeah, that's the person that does blank or they're known for this. Like, what do you want to be known for? And it's kind of back to our Wednesday episode that we talked about in regards to
about how our choices become our children's consequences.
Exactly. It's that exact thing. It ties so in with our Wednesday episode. So that's what I have to say.
I love it. I love that. And like, Sandy said, that one little pain point, that memory that really stuck out to her very well could have helped shape her passion, purpose, calling, and leaning into community building and everything. So the signs are everywhere around you, and it is really up to you to identify and lean into your gift, because that's what God, that's what your higher self truly wants from you. They've bestowed, like you have been bestowed with gifts, and it's up to you to express them. Side note, I think that's why we love, like when we know someone's foreign or the English is their second language or they have some cultural differences. Sandy and I always look at each other like, oh my gosh, how cute are they? Let's go talk to them. Like we love them, because I think
love it so
your
much.
mom like kind of comes to life a little bit in those moments, and it's just so cool. But
I want to hear from you guys. What are your gifts? Like, what is something that maybe even in listening to this, you're like, I've kind of buried that. Like, how do I resurface that? Or I just want to know, like, what are your gifts? What is something that you consciously work on building and blessing other people with? And like, what are you known for? What is your superpower? I want to hear it.
I love it. And I want you to share this with someone who has gifts that once unearthed, it'll be powerful for the world. Thank you guys for listening, for sharing. We love hanging out with you guys. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next week. Critity's out. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
So remember, you are magnetic.